holidays coming up, I'm sure you guys are going to be looking to create different things with your craft machines. So I'm going to show you guys how to design the most common stuff that I see pop up inside the Cricut crafting groups, starting with the knockout text designs. I'm going to show you some examples on the screen. So these things are really popular, and it's actually really easy to design things like that. First thing that you're going to want to do is pull up Cricut Design Space. Again, this is another example. I've already found 2 fonts that you can use for this particular example. They are both free. You're going to want to go to dafont.com. You're going to find this Babyskaya font. It's in the public domain, so you're all good. And then you're going to want to find Rostilla. This is also free, public domain kind of thing. Now, there are better cursive fonts with like the loops at the end, but I wanted to find something free that you guys could download to practice with. If you guys have fonts in mind for these, by all means, do you. So once you download these, and for anyone that doesn't know, you just hit this button here. It'll download it. It'll pull up a folder. Let me pull up the folder. Okay. So it'll pull up a folder that looks like this, right? You don't have to extract everything. I personally haven't extracted a whole lot of stuff. I just kind of double click on the OTF file, hit install. I haven't had anything wrong happen. So pulling up Cricut Design Space, you are going to go to the left-hand side and you're going to hit that text box. It is going to drop text on here. Now, depending on what all you've done before this text might look different. It's probably going to default to one of Cricut Design Space's default text. I don't know what their default text is, but in order to change it to one of the things that you've downloaded, all you have to do is click inside of this, and you'll notice like up at the top, you've got 2 different toolbars. This top toolbar is always there, but this second toolbar is going to be the text options toolbar. So we're going to click on this font drop down menu. It should pop up with Cricut first. Cricut is pushing their own fonts included in their access thing. You're going to want to slide on over to system, and this is going to give you everything that you have on your computer. Now, if you know the font name that you want to use, you can type it in here, and that will knock out a lot of trouble for you. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up the Babyskaya font, and that's going to select that for the project. And then I need to add in our cursive scripty font. So I'm going to go ahead and hit that text again. I'm going to move this over, use that same drop down menu. I'm already on system, and this one was Ross. Yeah. So clicking on that, and now we've got the 2 fonts that we're going to be using for this project, right? So let's go ahead and we'll do basketball, because that is more in line with the project that I saw in the Facebook group. And then for this one, we'll do coach. Now, if the thing with this project is they like the little swooshies at the end of it, but as you can see, the swoops aren't here presented in the project right now. But to get them is actually really easy. You just have to find the character map on your computer. To do that, you just come down to like the start menu and type in character map. Spell it right first, but character map, and you'll see like the little app there. You click on that, and it will pop up something that looks like this. Probably not that advanced view, but it'll look something like this, right? So you want to find your font, right? And you can type it in, and it'll start moving things along. So once you get to your font section, go to advanced view and make sure that this stuff is available, right? So what you want to do is scroll through all of this mess until you find the font that you're looking for. I had to go pretty far down. And I know that it looks crazy. But eventually you'll see all of the crazy loops and alternate swashes and swooshes and all that stuff. So we need a C. So we're going to pull in the C, and then we also need an H. So we're going to find the end of the H. That is right here. So we've got our C and our H. So I'm going to Control C the C, and then come over to Cricut, and then just select the C and Control V. And that's going to paste the loop. And then I'm going to pull back up the character map, copy, Control C the H, and then Control V the H over top of that. So now we have our things, right? The curves. We've got basketball and coach with the fancy text stuff going. Depending on what font you have, the kerning, I think is the technical term, but like the spacing in between all of the letters, it might be a little off. You can make some adjustments by using the font toolbar thing, right? So if you click on basketball, you'll notice up here you have your letter spacing. You can stretch it out, or you can make it smaller. Now, depending on how the font itself was created, some letters might have a little bit more space in between them than other letters. You could see, like here, this is pretty decent, but depending on the letters, like E and T are really close here, but T and B are kind of like, that spacing is a little bit more than that E and T, and I don't like how close those things are. Now, inside of a program like Illustrator or GIMP, I think is the free version, or Affinity Designer, you can make adjustments based on the letter. But inside of Cricut Design Space, if you were to use the letter spacing, it adjusts everything that's in that like text section. So in order to do individual adjustments, what you're going to want to do is right click and go to ungroup. Now all of the letters are their own separate entity. You can see over in the layers panel on the right hand side, we have each letter as its own layer. So I'm going to select the T, B, A, L, and L, and I'm going to use the arrow keys to kind of make it a little more even between that E and the T. And that seems good to me. Now I want this basketball text to be a little taller. I want it to cover more of the cup, just based on the example that I showed you guys at the beginning of the video. So I'm going to select everything here, right click, go to combine, and go to unite. This is going to weld everything together, but still give me the option to undo it if I decide that I don't like it. So I'm going to undo the locked proportions at the top, and this is going to allow me to stretch it out. So I'm going to grab the boxes, the transform tools around, transform handles around the item, and I'm going to stretch this out. Then we're going to take coach. I need to bring this to the front. So bring all the way to the front, and then make this a wee bit bigger, and also make this a different color so I can make sure that I see what I'm doing. So I'm cool with this. I like how that looks. I think I can make some adjustments with the coach text itself, like probably space some of this stuff out to make it go a little bit further. Nah, I guess that's enough. I think I'm gonna bring that O down. So in order to bring down the O, because I don't like that that's up so high, I'm going to go ahead, right click, ungroup it. We're going to grab this O and we're going to bring him down just a little bit. I feel like I can move some of these. How far can we get this C over? Not far. Alright. I think that's fine. So selecting all of these again so that we can bring them back together. Right click. We're going to go to Unite. So based on the example that I gave you guys before, and even this one up here, I have kind of like a layer cut out of the text itself instead of overlapping this stuff. Especially if it's going on a cup, you're gonna want as much of your decal on the surface itself and nothing overlapping. So in order to get this like outline situation going on where like the text is cut out of the text behind it, so like the cursive text is cut out from the block text, what we're going to do is we're going to use the offset feature and then cut that outline from the bottom text. So we're going to click on coach and then we're going to go up to the top bar and click offset. Now you're going to see this blue line that's going around it. That is where that's where your outline is going to be, whatever is filled in there. I think that we can make it just a little bit smaller because it doesn't need to be, we don't need to have a huge gap. I even think I did too much in this one in like the examples that I showed you. But I do know that I want a little bit of a space. And I think that looks fine. Yeah, I'm cool with this. So let's hide that yellow, and then I'll make this white just to get a better visual. I'm good with that. So I'm gonna go ahead and center everything. I might make some adjustments on the cursive text, make it just a little bit smaller. Let's see what that would look like. I mean, that's not bad. Like, just moving it down a little bit. And it did get a little bit smaller. But it's going to create a really thin piece here. So let me select both of those layers and take that out. And now we won't have a thin piece here. We can contour out these pieces. Yeah, this should be fine. The biggest thing was just getting rid of that really thin piece because it's not gonna cut well. And these other smaller pieces, once we take out this white from the basketball text, those other small pieces, we can just remove them using the contour feature. So let me center this one more time. And we should be good. So let me hide this white. We'll select both of these, right click, and go to subtract. So now you can see what I was talking about with the thin, like the smaller pieces. We can go ahead and contour those out. So just selecting this thing here, we're gonna go, let's go ahead and merge these layers, contour, and we'll just click on that. Might have to zoom in a little bit. I could probably find the small piece. It's gonna be a weird no. Because it's too small to click. I can't. This one. There we go. Yeah. We should be good. So now that that's all contoured out and stuff. I mean, I guess technically speaking, we could have just cut it and then that little tiny piece could have just been removed. But it's fine. We got her moved out. So now we've got that and then this yellow text here. I'm going to go ahead and take out McDonald. So now we got basketball coach, right? When you go to make this. It should pull up. Oh, I've got leftover projects. Okay, let me take this out. I'll take this one out. All right, so now when we go to make it, we've got the back text and then our cursive text. So if there's another project that you guys are interested in learning how to design for, let me know in the comments below and I will work on getting a design tutorial together. If you guys have any questions on this particular tutorial, let me know and I will try my best to explain it further. If you guys are interested in another easy project, you guys can actually take clip art designs and turn them into stickers, and you can get information about that in this video here.